Oh yeah, the Murang'a County Investment Conference, Murang'a Invest 2025, the inaugural, happened yesterday. Of course, it's still happening, but today mostly what is happening is the golf tournament, and of course the tour to all these other to these places whereby the land is available for investment. All right, so I'm sure some of you may have watched the news, but if you didn't, or you just want to get to know more what happened from my perspective, here is the catch-up show. Officially, I'm Stephen Mwangi. Socially, I'm the funnel, the wonder boy. All right, so yesterday the Murang'a Investment Conference really happened pale Thika Greens Resort, Thika Greens Golf Resort. Very huge event, beautiful day. Lots of presentations, lots of speeches, lots of panels, and lots of insights to share with you guys. I'll be doing subsequent videos more in depth, and probably some follow-up interviews with some of those guys who are involved in the organizing of the conference. However, some of the key takeaways ni ati Murang'a is very prepared for this particular dawn, basically, of the manufacturing and the essentially industrialization of our products. We have a lot of raw materials, which is one of the reasons for investing in Murang'a is that there's raw materials, we have the skills, and we have the land, and we have conducive environment, you know, naturally and politically, so to speak. Anyways, therefore, the presentations were really around the areas, the investment opportunities in Murang'a, especially in manufacturing, vitu na aggregation, stuff like that, value addition, unacheki. And so coffee factories, sikusikia wame mentioned coffee factory, and I think that is taken care of. I don't know if people are welcome to invest in the Murang'a coffee factory, but we have tea, we have a Marila farm, we have the industrial county, Murang'a County Industrial and Aggregation Park, and we have the Special Economic Zone and the Export Processing Zone. Area mingi, most of these things ziko hii area towards the edge of Murang'a County pande ya Kiambu. You know, that should be Gatanga, Maragwa, Kandara, I believe, Gatanga, Kegumo, Maragwa, sub-counties. Ukondo, most of these things are. But one of the things that I heard the governor talk about in his speech is the Mokroe Wanyagatanga, which is one of the 19 registered or identified natural industry products that come from Murang'a. And whatever the others are, akina Mokimo, Mataha, Soroa Mokio, Rokori, the other shrines and the other caves and stuff like that, and the historical figures, ile kitu iko ni ati Mukuru wa Nyagathanga cannot be replicated, and the governor gave a very nice illustration that Muslims have their Mecca, Christians have their Jerusalem, and the Catholics have their Rome. Kikuyus have their Mukuru wa Nyagathanga. Now there is he made an explanation that I believe the Kikuyu Council of Elders, Murang'a chapter, may have written to the governor and said, yo, you don't want to mess around with this place, because history has it that anyone who tries to mess around Mukuru wa Nyagathanga doesn't end well. Mtu yote amejaribu kupeleka development huko, hata ukiingia hapo kwa site, there's some people, I don't know how long ago, some people had tried to build a hotel there. Hoteli iko hapo na ikaanza kujengwa, lakini haikuendelea. In fact, it's still like the way it was. And so here's the thing, I think Mukuru wa Nyagathanga ri hau ciraini-inĩ ĩyo ri hau atio wĩrwo kũhutio, reke andũ mathiaga gũcera, magathiĩ gũcera makona, kwĩrorera na magatarĩrio, no hatigakwo kĩndũ o gĩothe. The only thing that can happen there is some landscaping, niguo gũtigakĩmere nyeki na mĩtitũ hothe hatuĩke nĩ handũ ũtangĩingĩra. So I think parts and stuff like that, there's trimming, there's basic landscaping that is done, but not development. Si ati muleta mabulldozer huko na kumwaga materials sijui cannot turn it into a construction site. However, so what do? Because the investors have been invited and there's, I believe, capital available. So what happens? I think, I don't know, makiuga atiriri ni twakirire area iyo tutikuhutia hau no gwakirirwo kau gakoyo guothe ri andu agakoyo mwendie migunda muthame kuu niguo mwake ma resort ma tourists. I'm sure that is not going to happen. Land is going to become very expensive there. But you cannot move those people from there. I don't think they will be willing to move. I don't think they want to move. And you have no business moving them from their homeland. However, Murang'a ti haraihu. Murang'a guku taoni ri, guku ni kuo andu kwagirwo ku developwo, kuhane no ku accommodate maundu. Kana ona hakuhi na area icio. Ta Kaweru, kundu ta Kaweru, Mugeka, Kiambugi, uguo no ti guthie gwaka hau kunungenungira hau uguo mukuru wa Nyagaranga haria Gikuyu maikaraga na Mumbi. Tuti uria guthiaga na mbere no riri. What you don't know, don't mess around with it unless you're willing to find out something that you don't know if you can handle or whatever. So getting away from there, so that's exciting. That's really exciting. I see a bunch of businesses coming up from these initiatives. Unacheki. So we're going to be doing subsequent videos on what really took place yesterday. The president was there, contrary to some of the people's opinion, like anakuja kufanya nini wewe kama umemuinvitea nini sasa umeharibu. But he came and gave a good speech, and you see, he also mentioned about a Chinese guy who was there in the audience, and he actually was introduced. Alisema huyo jamaa alikuwa amemwambia president akiwa China ati anaweza penda kuinvest Kenya. Niko na sijui alisema ako na do ngapi. He has a bunch of money. Money is available. Alienda kwa Ruto akamwambia niko na mukuchu. So this guy mpaka akasimama hapo na nikasikia president akisema I even here he has already ashachangamkiwa na ameambiwa riu we no akinya guku mucii twire mbeca iria we nacio na niguo tukuonia haria ungeigirira. And speaking of which, something happened very interesting there. I don't know if anybody noted. The governor was talking about a certain form yenye mimi nilikuwa nimecheki in the campaigns, in the materials that they checked out during the promotion period. Kuna form inaitwa expression of interest form, I think so, something like that. Enye wewe ka invest, unataka kuinvest, unaachilia details zako hapo mingi kibao na unasema ile ndo uko nayo kama wewe ndo investor na mambo mengi. I think we may have to do a video on that form particularly and the other forms around the whole process. And then akauliza aje, yo, I hope that's not a cat getting into my house to drag away my bread. So I'm going to have breakfast after this. Akauliza hiyo form, akauliza wale watu wako nayo wainue mikono. Haya, akasema mwenye hana ainue mikono. I think wale watu wako na form ndio walikuwa wengi. So he was like, very neat guy, akuvuruga, but apparent interesting enough, short ikatoka kwa governor ikaenda kwa audience pande hii nyingine venye dignitaries wameketi. Sasa katikati ya dignitaries, one of them is the chief of staff Philemon Kiviru. Philemon Kiviru is hearing the governor talk about the form. He's seeing how many people have not received the form, and he's wondering what the heck is going on pale kwa registration desk. Hatiri mundu urera andu horo wa form wino naga nitacia print to nitacia ari print na nitakorani na mubango ati mundu a register akanengerwo form ya igire nayo. Riu governor hari akiaria ri akoria atiriri mukire na form iyo niguo ndimuchambuithie tuthie tuthomete uria form ino hana tondu nio ndiramwira andu aingi matire ndikachiki nikacheki Philemon Kibiro, like the boss he is. Nikaona ameinua kichwa, nikaona ameangalia place fulani, unajua. And I have been a PA to many leaders before, and I know one of the key things when you're the assistant wa mdosi fulani, mkiwa place ukaage umemwangalia, don't usikae sana kama hujamcheki, because sometimes he could be trying to communicate with you through eye contact, unacheki. So niliona ameangalia, nikaona ameangalia, nikajua huyo ni mtu anaangaliwa, siangalie. He kept looking, he kept adjusting, na adjust kidogo. At some point ikafika mahali akasema, god damn, itabidi let me call these guys. Nikaona ametoa simu, nikaona anaongea, nikajua sasa hawa watu wanahandwa, kuna mtu anahandwa hapo vibaya sana. We atirire form icio tura print reri, ureta guthii gwakia jiko nacio, wagire kuhe andu aria makiregister niki. Anyways, this just a side thing. The governor moved on to say, if you don't have a form, akadirect watu waende kwa minister wa CCM. Oko nduri na form iyo, uthie kwi waziri umwire akunengere form ni arute kuria kuruta. Anyway, I think that's just the comic in me watching that from that angle. But it was a beautiful day. However, I also noted that this is not something that is going to happen like at immediately. Uraigua gukirwo ati maundu matiganite kenyongerera gotheri kandi ti gotheri ndirongera ni gotheri niko zoom. You know, I hope you can see me. So the idea is that after you fill out that form, which is not going to be charged, si kama vile mtu anajazaga tender form unalipa 2,000 sijui 1,000 na hiyo nejorana ago kidogo gacokerio. Hii form haulipishi chochote, you just express yourself, you just fill out the details and leave it with the county, which is what they are going to use to communicate with you when they have completed consolidating the opportunities, and they are probably shortlist or do some kind of an arrangement. Na kwa hii form lazima uattach letter fulani kutoka kwa banki yako yenye inasema uko na do. Hiyo letter inasema money is available. Pesa iko. Tunabia. Yeah. So but your process in a take long. I think the deadline for submitting that form is August, 14th August or something like that. Lu go to June, tuigire July, August. Iyo ni mieri iri marahuthira kuthondeka maundu macio. Then kuma hindi iyo ri September ri niguo makanirira maundu fulani andu aria anga mahetwo agoda uria makuheo opportunity ya kuinvest. Ngani September kani October. Kuma hau we waheo werwo atiriri haya ni thayo urendaga gwaka kiganda giaku fulani kuria Murang'a county creameries, niguo ukaguraga raw material iria arimi marehaga kou, nawe uge processor no gakona brand ciaku. Kana uraugire uheo ikasiga no na kuria Marira farm he kaundu urenda gwika kou, kana uraugire urenda kuria kwakitwo mashedi ma industry we wina kiundu urenda gwaka, kana uraugire urenda uheo mugunda flat we wake kiri urenda gwaka, riu gakirwo riu niwe wiko changamuka habiriria na heo guo ndunginina mwaka utarikitie utarutite wira ucio. Kuma hau time igekirwo countdown, mwaka ugithira uko urutite wira ucio na ukambiriria maundu macio. Oko ti uguo ri mugunda ugicokeria county he andu mena bata na wira. Anyways, that's what's up. So today they are going around these places and just seeing the whatever it is that the governor was talking about yesterday in the presentations. There was also some reviews of the county programs, the various community initiatives, community projects ambazo county government is being lauded for doing so well and for being the #1 county in Kenya. All right, many guests came there. We're going to be doing more videos on that, but for now, you are all caught up. Let me go do what I need to do. I'll catch you up more on these videos. I'm excited. By the way, I'm very, very excited. For those who don't know, I'm the chair of Murang'a Cultural Creatives Association. Na sasa tumerejisteriwa. We have the official registration paper, so we are not an illegal group anymore. We are a legal entity. We are a legal entity. Kwa hivyo sasa tutafanya kazi vile inafaa, because before that we could not do much. The registration was pending. Na imetutake muda mrefu sana, but we thank God that the process has finally come to a fruitful end. And we thank the Registrar of Societies for giving us this opportunity to basically work towards establishing and promoting a thriving creative ecosystem in Murang'a. Tunataka forms ziweze huku, forms ziweze kabisa, si kila time tunakimbia Nairobi. Na hata wale watu kwa Nairobi wengi nasemaga wengi ni watu wa Murang'a. Like Mwaura and Bilal, sahi, the guy playing Dedan Kimathi. Jamani hapa Murang'a town. Play no era hiyo mono Nairobi thaisi ya Dedan Kimathi. Mwaura kadeo ni Murang'a. Andũ aingĩ na andũ aingĩ Murang'a nginya amwe me ma-radio-inĩ maya, some of these comedians nĩ watu wa Murang'a, and a lot of musicians of course we know nĩ watu wa Murang'a. So maũndũ nĩ megũgĩthiĩ na mbere mũno na magĩthiaga na mbere na kwagĩrĩra. Kĩndũ ndĩreyũragia na no tũgũthiĩ na mbere na push now that we are official registered is amashamba yote is that we need a studio. One of the investors should build a studio in one of those things. Ajenge sound stage mahali, apewe kakaa 15 ama mbao, aweke kitu bonge la studio. Na andũ maigua studio meciragia nĩ studio ya mbica. Andũ studio rĩ kĩ movie style ũguo tũraria rĩ nĩ ta warehouse ciganĩrĩrwo, ũnyite warehouse ta 5 ucimoda ucirutani ucitue kindu kimwe. Yani studio ni kama nita gwikira ihura, ona ihura uguo hana umikire umigite na kirufu ke iguru pio, such that any kind of production can take place in there. Most of these Hollywood movies you see ati sijui imeshutiwa kwa jungle, sijui kwa mountain gani, sijui kwa country gani, sijui kwa city gani. A lot of these things are done in a studio, in the safety of a studio. That's what we are talking about. Inaweza jengo hapa Murang'a, and it doesn't have to be an outsider. One of the big pockets, one of the deep pockets can do that, you know. Some people like Dr. Peter Monga and his team in the Murang'a County Budget and Economic Council can actually do something like that. Yeah, even SK Macharia can do that on his own, Royal Media Services peke yake. Yeah, so twazidi kusukuma. And it's a beautiful thing that in one of the things that is going to be built out there is a stadium. So I think that is going to be the world class stadium. Hii ya Mombi itajengwa tu vile iko. I haven't established what really took place and whether they are building on the way on the land as it is, or they have expanded towards Mombi Girls. Anyways, having said that, acha tufike mwisho. You're all caught up. Thank you very much. Officially, I'm Stephen Mwangi. Socially, I'm the fun of the Wonder Boy. You've been watching the Catch Up Show with the Wonder Boy.